Thank you so much. It's an incredible honor to be joining you this afternoon. It speaks to the effort that we put into rethinking our programs and making sure that they're grounded and based in best practices. I'll speak briefly about my work on behalf of the foundation, establishing that, and Zach will speak specifically about the mechanics of the program, and then Lindsay will offer a perspective on behalf of Reading Partners. So I arrived at the Warriors a little over 3 years ago to establish the foundation. My background professionally was in development at the Lucile Packard Foundation. I worked for many years at Stanford helping to lead fundraising for Packard Children's Hospital. And so I brought a certain perspective on development and exposure to our work in grant making. We had a letter of determination from the IRS establishing a new foundation. We had an internal board of 5 individuals, and we had a certain level of interest on behalf of our ownership group to be involved in education. So that was, I think, enough to be exciting. We certainly had a rapidly increasing brand and a fan base that was falling in love with the types of players that we were developing. So my charge was to establish a grant-making vehicle, to build a fundraising engine that would fuel it, and to develop a board that would provide oversight. We've now, a little over 3 years in, we've given away close to $4 million, specifically in education. The first step was really to help the board understand that we were speaking about outcomes. And those outcomes for our internal work were high school graduation, college access, and college persistence. And help them understand that the issues that prevent that from happening begin much earlier than high school. That they begin in early childhood. They continue through elementary literacy, in middle school, and then in high school. And so as a result, our investments now are across the entire arc of the educational spectrum. A handful of targeted investments in early childhood work, some deep investments in literacy, emerging work in middle schools, particularly in STEM, and then continued investments in the high school space as well. The second aspect of our growth was to leverage these resources, this knowledge we had now, having evaluated grantees and identifying some best-in-class organizations, the resources that we have as an organization, not only on funding but in visibility, and to use that to inform some of the outreach work that the team had been doing historically. Read to Achieve is our oldest program. It's also undergoing enormous change, and this was an opportunity to inform that work, to make sure that the work we're doing in the community is, as I said, is relevant to the needs of the community, is based on best practices. There are a number of opportunities and challenges in sports. The challenges, without going into detail, are that you're a private company, you're a family business in the public sphere, and that introduces a whole host of issues that you have to manage carefully. The opportunities are that this is a moment right now for the Warriors. Folks who don't even follow basketball or the NBA are in love with this team and with our players and our coaches and what we represent, the style of play, the philosophy we have around teamwork, around playing with joy and with love. And so we are drawing from that and from the knowledge we've developed to inform our work. And so that's an incredibly special opportunity that Zach and Lindsay will speak about. Thank you.
Thanks, Jose. So I've been with the Warriors now. This is going to be my 10th season. We've ran the Read to Achieve program. This is going to be its 21st season. So it's changed a lot, as Jose mentioned. He's very modest. His vision and leadership created this program that you see today. It's been around for a long time, but not having the same impact it is today. It is our only early literacy program from the CR side that focuses on getting kids proficient by 3rd grade. We provide a lot of cool experience for kids, as you guys will see in the video a little later. We definitely bring the joy of reading, get kids excited, and a little bit about where the program was and where it is now. So 9 seasons ago when I started, just to put it in perspective, we have players that read to kids. We have coaches that read to kids. Well, at one point in time, I was reading to kids at events. Kids weren't too excited about that, I'm sure. I also put on the Clifford costume at events, which now we have actors who professionally do that. And there's a whole guideline that they have to follow, which I was not aware of when I wore the costume. Thankfully, I guess. As we look to where the program is now, through partners like Reading Partners and some of our local libraries, we're able to impact a large amount of kids throughout the Bay Area. I think last year was close to 35,000 kids, and we're looking to expand on that this year. Where the program was, we had events that would support maybe 10 to 15 kids, and so it's grown a lot. And as I mentioned, a lot of it's a testament to the vision and leadership of Jose, bringing in nonprofit partners to support our programs and for us to support the work that they're doing in the community. So the focus for the program is really two parts: to improve third grade reading proficiency through partners like Reading Partners. We partner with the San Francisco Bay Area branch of Reading Partners, which covers San Francisco and the East Bay, and also Silicon Valley, which covers a large majority of the South Bay. And then the second part is to combat summer learning loss, which we heard about a little earlier, through work with San Francisco Public Library and Oakland Public Library's summer reading programs. So here you see our three community partners for this, which really allows us to run this program 365 days a year through the school year through Reading Partners, and then through the summer through our partners at the library. Through Reading Partners in the schools, as I mentioned before, with the number of students we're able to touch through the program, we are in 56 schools in the Bay Area and impacting roughly 2,800 students. And through the summer reading programs with Oakland Public Library and San Francisco Public Libraries, there's another 22,000 students that we're able to reach. And through providing some incentives like player visits, coach visits, we have dance team, we have costume characters coming out and reading to students, bringing joy back into what could be, a lack of interest in reading and really making it exciting again. We give out books to students, t-shirts, and really provide meaningful educational incentives to get them pumped up about reading in the school year. Through the libraries, we offer raffles for kids to come out to games during the season. And it's been a tremendous success for the library to have kids meet their reading goals through the summer, knowing that they have the opportunity to try to win a raffle for the Warrior game. And we offer enough tickets that they can bring the whole family out. So it's been one of those things at the library where families come and asking when the raffle is going to be, to make sure their students are reading during that week so they can get their raffle entry. And then the last part is we've had a lot of interest from groups and schools and literacy organizations outside of Reading Partners and outside of the schools that we support and they support and the libraries. So we're creating a third component to the program, which is more of an open enrollment online, realizing that the work doesn't stop within these three groups, and providing resources and incentives for them for the work they're doing in the community. And we'll be building that out more this year, but providing books, providing educational incentive items, and we have player testimonies and feedback on some of their past involvement in reading and some of their books that they enjoyed reading growing up, and some of their favorite teachers that we have available as videos for teachers to use as resources to get students excited about school. And so that's pretty much our program in a nutshell. And I'm going to ask Lindsay to come up and talk a little bit about Reading Partners.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm Lindsay Kessel, the Program Director for Reading Partners here in the Bay Area, and we are thrilled to be partners with the Warriors. If you're not familiar with Reading Partners, we are a nonprofit here in the Bay Area as well as nationally, and as Zach mentioned, we will be serving about 2,800 students here in the Bay Area, providing one-to-one reading support for elementary students who are behind grade level in reading. And we do that by recruiting and training volunteers to implement that program. Here in San Mateo County, we are partnered with 10 schools and about 56 across the Bay Area. The Warriors have been amazing partners for us. They have done these Read to Achieve events, which I'll talk about in a second, have also helped elevate our brand and do some tutor appreciation when we know we need, in order to implement the program, we have to have volunteers. And even strengthened our partnership because Zach is actually on our regional board, so he helps support us beyond just these events. The Read to Achieve events, has anyone attended one before? Okay, we got one back. They're so fun. And what Zach mentioned about bringing that joy and that energy, Reading Partners is also committed to helping increase reading proficiency by 3rd grade. And but the joy of reading is part of that too. And these are such fun events. They bring players and coaches to the schools, and they're so well run. So what's nice about the Read to Achieve programs is that they involve beyond just their Reading Partners students. We tutor about an average about 50 to 60 students at a school site, but everyone is invited to these, parents and families, and they provide books, and they have the players reading at Rosa Parks. That first slide you saw there, Rosa Parks Elementary School in San Francisco. That's a student who got to go up on stage, a student who's struggling with reading, who may not normally get to show off their reading skills or be acknowledged for reading, and got to go up on stage with about 10 of our other Reading Partners students and share a read aloud with one of the Warriors. That was Ian Clark up there. So it's such a wonderful event, and they bring books at every level, high interest books to get students excited about reading, to build those library of books at home so they can have access to books at home. We know how important that is. And just, again, bringing that joy and love of reading. So these are single events. Here in San Mateo County, we had one at Selby Lane Elementary School last year, and really can't say enough about our partnership with them. They bring resources, and our tutors are the heart of our program. We need them, and they've been helping us raise our awareness to recruit new volunteers through our partnership, through tutor appreciation, and just brand awareness, so that we can recruit the volunteers to do the work, so that we can all have more 3rd graders reading proficiently.
We're here at the Rosa Parks Elementary School in San Francisco. It's the Read to Achieve Reading Rally presented by Ross Stores. We're here along with our friends at Reading Partners, Curious George, and of course, Ian Clark and Jaron Collins. We're going to be here with the kids to learn all about reading and have some fun at the same time.
Man with a big yellow hat put George into a little boat, and the sailor rowed them both across the water to a big ship.
Today was a reading rally with the Read to Achieve programs. We had Jaron and Ian from the Warriors come and read to the kids and ask trivia questions to build excitement about literacy, sponsored by Ross Dress for Less.
We can see that a lot of time and effort and energy goes into the planning for an activity like this, that the children receive these wonderful t-shirts, books, prizes during the activity. Just makes the whole event all that much more engaging for the children.
Reading is fun and books are cool too. I will read a book daily to learn something new. Oh, it's great. They do a great job of teaming up and making sure that the kids get to interact with us. And it's a big benefit for us too, to be able to give back and be a positive influence.
But as Lindsay mentioned, those events serve as incentives to Reading Partners schools. So the students at the school who are a part of Reading Partners, when they show great progress, they enter their entire school for the chance to have a Warriors player and coach come out and read with the entire school, I should say. Ross Stores, I guess I forgot to mention this earlier, is the presenting sponsor of the program, and they've been a really great sponsor for us over the large part of the duration of this 21 years we've been running this program. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do with the program and where we wanted to take it without Ross being on board for that. So I think that's very important to mention as well.